I was not the only American troubled by the senseless acts of violence that preceded the destruction of the World Trade Centers, or by the carnage that followed. The lethality of the poison required for men to believe that slaughtering innocent souls is a service to God is beyond comprehension. Now, 2 years after having met personally with terrorists from Al-Qaeda, Hamas, Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade, and Islamic Jihad, and having studied the Islamic scriptures they quoted, I am repulsed, but I am no longer unaware. I recognize that the terrorists have not corrupted their religion. Islam has corrupted them. And I know that Muslim militants will continue to slaughter Christians and Jews, peaceful Muslims and atheists alike. We can either eliminate Islam so that there is no longer an incentive for them to kill, or we can let Muslims eliminate us. Those are the only two options we have been given. They have declared holy war, and we must respond. Sadly, all we have done thus far is to parade Islam's most articulate clerics and politicos on television and let them deceive our nation. Our president has lied to us. Our pastors, priests, and rabbis don't seem to care. Fact is, many have been willing to sacrifice your life for money and power. It's like Islam in a way. Muslims threaten clerics, politicians, and the media with angry demonstrations, protestations, boycotts, and even death if they speak out honestly about the obvious correlation between Islam and terror. Thus far, I have shared hundreds of Koran verses commanding Muslims to fight. Muhammad, speaking for Allah, made himself perfectly clear.
Quran 8, verse 7. Allah wished to confirm the truth by His words, wipe the disbelieving infidels out to the last. Quran 8, verse 39. So fight them until all opposition to Islam ends and all are obedient to Allah.
Speaking for himself, Muhammad unleashed the very same sword. This prophet blessed us with countless jihad hadith chronicled by the likes of Ishaq, Tabari, and Bukhari. In the Syria, Ishaq reported Muhammad having said,
Kill the disbelievers wherever you find them. Lie in wait for them. Ambush them. Overwhelm them. I have ordered you to kill them. Tabari. The battle cry of Muhammad's companions was, Kill, kill, kill. Bukhari. Allah's apostle said, I have been ordered to fight people until they say, none has the right to be worshipped but Allah.
The four most important and holy books in Islam speak with the same voice. So what about the fifth? What does Muslim have to say about the first Muslims? His voice must be heard too, as no Islamic scholar disputes the authenticity of his inspired collection of hadith. By way of background, Muslim was born in 202 AH and died in 933 AD.
He traveled widely to gather his collection of hadith, including to Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Syria, and Egypt. Out of 300,000 hadith which he evaluated, only 4,000 were extracted for inclusion into his collection, based on stringent acceptance criteria.
He had a great deal to report on the subject of jihad. In fact, what he had to say is hard to miss. Muslim begins his dissertation under the title,
Command for fighting against people so long as they do not profess that there is no Ilah but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger.
The first tradition is a bolder version of a Bukhari hadith, confirming the first Islamic caliphs fought for money, not souls.
Muslim. When the messenger breathed his last and Bakr was appointed Caliph, many Arabs chose to become apostates.
Which means, given the opportunity, they ceased being Muslims. They rejected Muhammad, Allah, and the Koran.
Umar said, Why would you fight against these people? Bakr replied, I would definitely fight against anyone who stopped paying the zakat, for it is an obligation. I would fight against them even to secure the cord used for hobbling the feet of a camel. Umar remarked, Allah had opened the heart of Bakr for understanding the justification of fighting against those who refused to pay the zakat.
The war of compulsion enslaved all Arabs. The reason for fighting was money. Islam stole Arab property and Arab freedoms.
Muslim. The messenger said, I have been commanded to fight against people so long as they do not declare that there is no God but Allah.
That means Muslims must fight and kill non-Muslims until there are no more non-Muslims. No matter how you translate or interpret this hadith, that is what these words mean. The only way to avoid the sword of Islam and the loss of life and property is to become one. Even then, if you don't pay the zakat tax and obey their every command, Muslims will hunt you down and kill you. And should you decide to leave their cult, they will kill you for that too. There will be no peace until there is no Islam.
Muslim. The messenger said, I have been commanded to fight against people until they testify that there is no God but Allah, and they believe in me, that I am the messenger, and in all that I have brought.
That would be the sunnah, which is derived from these hadith.
And when they do it, their blood and riches are protected.
Muslims are commanded to follow Muhammad's example. They are ordered to fight non-Muslims in the Koran. Now, all people on earth, you and me included, are required to
believe in Muhammad
and to
believe Muhammad was God's messenger
if we want to live. And then to add insult to injury, if we want Muslims to spare our
blood and riches,
we must believe in
all that Muhammad brought.
All would include the entirety of the deeds and words recorded by Bukhari, Muslim, Ishaq, Tabari, and Allah. Go back and read Muhammad's creation accounts if you need to be reminded as to how insane such capitulation would be. And continue to read this collection of what
Muhammad brought
if you would like to know how lethal Islam can be.